3, 2. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Your Is. I'm Don Quan. This is my family right here. Introduce ourselves. Tell me what y'all about.
Talk about. Can we do it?
Pause it, delete it, and do it over.
Please, y'all. I did not know it was gonna be that fun. I'm just gonna chill out.
You need to, nigga. I wish Michelle was there. Michelle
would kill it.
Bust it up. You're throwing in your sister's shadow.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Everybody ready?
I have to be professional.
Y'all know y'all can do things. Y'all don't have to be professional. Don't do what Gabby did though.
Yeah.
Alright, let's get it.
If you don't put your leg down, I'm gonna kill you.
Bro, I love this thing.
Alright, 3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talk
You started talking too fast, huh?
What you talking about?
I know, I didn't press it fast enough. My bad. Alright, I'm serious.
Alright.
There's nothing funny. There's nothing.
3.
Wait,
you can be laughing at some parts, but just not the beginning, Gabby. 3,
1.
3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Talk Your Is. I'm Don Quan Bogan, but you already know that. That's why you here. This is my family. Introduce ourselves.
Tyreek, just call me Reek. I'm the older cousin. I'm an industrial engineer in Southeast of Louisiana.
I'm Donnie, the brother of my brother.
Go on. Come on, Gabby.
Hi, I'm Gabriella, but you can call me Gabby. I am a criminal justice major at JCJC. And let's get into it.
Now, y'all already know what it is. It's called Talk Your Is. So I'm going to be talking about whatever I want. Raw, unconditional, no matter what it is. We cover all topics here. Starting off, how y'all feel about that North living compared to Louisiana living? That South living?
North living?
Fun fact for all of y'all. Gabby here is from Mississippi. So she ain't exactly Louisiana living, but she is indeed South living. How y'all going to compare it to?
Well, I mean,
the living condition is way different from the South.
But you know, I'm talking like culture-wise, food-wise.
Culture-wise.
I feel like it's more by yourself up in the North than South. Like you can find a family more down in the South than you can up there. Like think about it. Like up in the North is more industrial. Like you got more. Everyone's fighting for a job and that. But down here, we all working the same type of job with our families. Because we've all been doing the same thing for like eons.
Well, since we're in Louisiana, I feel like we should talk about the food culture.
Yeah, you already know.
I feel like in the north part, I feel like the food is more blender
trash
than the South because a lot of people love Tony's, salt, pepper.
Wait, hold up. First of all, let's get this right? Let's talk about just the whole culture of the South. If you look at the past decade, the South has really been controlling everything. If you really want to think about it, let's talk about the slang and the way we talk. No cap. That started in Atlanta. Atlanta's in Georgia. Georgia's in the South. Like people saying yes sir started in the South. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then let's go to food. Food wise, I mean, up north, well, basically anywhere besides Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Some parts of Florida, and then Georgia. If you look at the real, that's why I call it true South.
That's the true South right there.
The origin.
I say the Carolinas too.
But y'all ain't South like
Canada.
Y'all ain't as South.
I say that, but besides them places, everywhere else, all they do is sprinkle some Cajun, some Tony's on it and call it Cajun style.
And it's not even Tony's. Y'all don't even have Tony's for real, bud. Tony's is universal seasoning for us. We put it on everything. And I'm not calling nobody out, but if you from the North and you come down here South, especially to Louisiana, baby, don't act like you from the South. Because we will have you eating stuff you don't know what you eating. You like, ooh, that's good. Next thing you know, you eating rabbit stew. Or some coon. What I know about coon? Some people in Louisiana don't even eat coon, but down the bayou, we eat that coon, baby. And coon is...
I've never actually tried that.
You ain't ate coon like that. You ate coon. You ate coon.
The best way to eat coon is boiled or stewed. That's the only way you can eat coon. I don't want to hit nothing else.
Boiled? You capping? Like
coon.
You gonna eat coon?
We ate it with my grandpa. Why did he put vinegar in his coon?
No.
Stew's coon the best. He capping.
But bro, okay. We all know how a coon looks when you cook it down, right?
Yeah.
It has the same tender as turkey necks.
Same texture, you mean?
Yeah. So you could boil it. Look, I'm telling you, it's fire.
Some of you out there probably don't even eat turkey necks. If you do, I feel bad for you.
Oh my god, turkey necks are so good.
That's the bomb right there.
Delicious.
If you bite into a turkey neck, you don't get that flavor, and it's just bland, like they put water on it. Leave it alone. It ain't for you.
Mouth.
That'd be depressing, bro. When like got some good food and someone just messes up. Like
Thanks.
some people be putting sugar in that stuff
And what?
and like everything.
I mean, it depends on what you're cooking. I mean, I know.
Let's say a crawfish ball and someone put a pound of sugar in the crawfish ball.
Boy, I'll beat that tail.
That's
unnecessary.
Bro, that's how some people be like out here.
That's highly unnecessary.
I think, let me put that in perspective. There's herbs like upper north that some people do.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
Since we're talking about differences in North and South, I feel like the North have fewer. I'm not gonna get in stats and all of that, but I feel like the North have a lot of don't have a lot of health issues
As
much as the South.
Well,
dealing with the food and they have a lot of home growth.
Because you gotta realize down here in South we have big cities. You know, New Orleans, Houston, Dallas.
Yeah, and New Orleans actually produce kombucha drink, which are sold in stores.
What is
The kombucha drink.
I never heard of
what is
that.
that?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta try it. It's really good.
But like I was saying, it's like to your point. I mean, the reason why up north things are more like
Less complicated.
like let's look at the biggest city probably up north. It's probably New York. New York people don't even really drive. Like they have cars and stuff, but
they walk.
They walk.
everything they walk like 2-3 blocks. Like they going from this borough to this borough and they walking. That's just wow.
And living up north.
Let's put that in another perspective. Yeah, these guys could probably say that the northern people probably live better. Like they live better, live longer, but do they live better than us though? If we got more space to do what we want.
That's an important thing.
Like, okay, this apartment building right here in New York could probably be over 100 mil.
I mean,
No cap.
this is the important thing right here.
Yeah.
That when it comes to your quality of life, there's a difference between surviving and living.
I want to say 100 million.
100 million is
Not 100. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that. But like 1 mil. Like 1 mil.
It probably wouldn't be that much. I say apartment like this.
And it'll be smaller in New York though.
It will probably be around $8,000.
Yeah.
But speaking of
$8,000 a month.
New York and all that money, cities like New York, Los Angeles and stuff, it takes money to live there. But people who go there are usually people who are trying to make it. So when we speaking about trying to make it, like, what y'all opinion on that? Y'all, all three of y'all college kids. I'm just doing podcasts and poetry and stuff, get my name out there, but y'all college kids, explain y'all going.
I feel like, grind-wise, yeah, we trying to make it out here, but at the same time, we trying to have fun.
Can I elaborate on the making part? I feel like a lot of people say when they're just trying to make it, I feel like it's a sacrificial thing that you have to do as well in order to like really be where you want to be in life. That's either with working, that's either with being whatever you want to be. Like you just have to make sacrifices and things like that. And then you also have a time to have fun, kick and make friends, do a lot of other things as well. So,
and one thing college taught me, and I know everyone been saying this since the beginning of my birth, that no one will be there. Like you will not know everything. You gotta find out by yourself.
Yeah, it's all about learning and branching out.
It's a really big learning experience.
You been in college for 2 days?
For a week.
What you feel about that?
I want to, but
you gotta graduate soon, huh?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on your first year of college?
Yeah, because you was by yourself.
My first year of college, yeah. I mean, I wasn't by myself, but I was by myself. I had a couple. My cousin Jacoby was down here. A couple of friends from back home came up here. And one of my closest friends, Seth, who I played football with, he was down here. But it's different. Like you could be surrounded by people but still be alone, like so to say. Because you gotta realize, like,
they already started their life.
Everybody got lives, and you know what I'm saying. It's like, for the most part, my first year in college, every day, it would be my cousin Jacoby, my friend Seth, my friend Tyler, and then another one of my friends named Kiwan, and it was really us. And then my first semester in college, it was us, and then two of my other friends named AB and Chunk, and she outside of that, it was, you know, and all we was doing was like basics, like we would play every single day. We played 2K when we got out of class, and then we went to the rec and played basketball in the rec every single day. Like, we'll be like, hey, we're not going to the rec, we're gonna study, we got finals. It's like 9 o'clock at night, we in the rec playing basketball. Rec close at, we used to close at, they used to close at 11.
The quarantine.
It still goes up to 12 now. Like, you could set up times being at like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah, of course, because I'm talking about the gym.
I've been over there, yeah.
To play basketball, that was closed. But, yeah, I mean, my first year in college, it wasn't bad. It was like a big learning curve because it was like, okay, so like,
basically you starting all over again.
Yeah, because like when I was in elementary, I was in elementary school, I already knew what to look forward to when I got to middle school because I had people that went to West, that knew how West was, new teachers, like Marquise was like, hey, this teacher, that teacher, this teacher, that teacher. You know what I'm saying? Giving me the spill, how it's going to be. Once I was in middle school, then once I got to high school, it was I think me going from middle school to high school was the easiest transition. It was easier than going from elementary to middle school, or going from high school to college. From middle school to high school was the easiest transition because it was like, me personally, I knew who I was and what I wanted to do.
Exactly.
So I already, you know what I'm saying? In college, it's different because this what I tell people. Like, when you get to college, it's like you think you know yourself, but you don't.
But
really
you
know.
actually finding out more about yourself.
Right, because all the people that you was cool with your whole life,
you may lose connections.
Exactly.
It's like you gotta regroup yourself with different people.
Stuff you thought you like, you don't really like. You only liked it because everybody else
that's what you was around. So when you break out to college, it's different environments and stuff like that.
Oh yes, but like I was saying, like for me, like I always been like kind of like an outcast, like not like an outcast, but like I've been different from like all my other friends, like just my whole life. So that's why I said like switching from middle school to high school was so easy because I was already used to just being different from everybody. Yeah, it's like I was saying, like you think you know yourself until you get to college, and when you get to college, you truly understand who you is. Like people that you've been knowing, me for example, the people I met since I've been down here, I've only been knowing for like 3 years of my life, but it feels like I've been with them since I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the people that I knew from up here are like, I'm like stupid cool with, you know what I'm saying? But college, I feel like everybody should just go to college, just to experience it, just for that experience. Because it's really like,
I feel like
college forces you to grow up.
Yeah.
It forces you to grow up, and it forces you because you like. Let's look at like most of the times when you come from high school to college, you're gonna live in a dorm. Especially if it's a town that you don't know nothing about, you don't know the apartment and all that, so you're gonna live in a dorm. And then when you live in a dorm, sometimes you are forced to be put in a situation with people that you never even met before.
Roommates.
So it's people you never. This is like what's so crazy to me. It's people you don't even know these people from Adam or Eve. Like you don't even know what these people do, who they are, and none of that. But you gotta live with them for 6 months. Honestly. Like that is just crazy.
Just want to throw a shout out. I got a fire roommate, Robin. Like I don't know how it was for you. It sounded like you had a fire roommate too when you first started.
Speaking of which, y'all can throw out any names y'all want. me personally, I'm not gonna throw out nobody's name if they're watching this podcast. Just in case I'm not sure if they want their name to be thrown out there. I will be sharing some stories on here about people. I won't say y'all names, but y'all gonna know who y'all. Y'all know how I get down. But speaking on when you're in college, you could be surrounded by people and you know you're still alone. And what you said something about when he said that you was like you could be out here with all these people and stuff, but you're like we figuring everything out, right?
Yeah, it's like basically, I don't know how to describe it or word it per se, but I just feel like it's just you basically trying to figure out like who you're like. I feel like it's like college is basically like what do you want in life? That's what I kind of feel like.
But but both of those things that y'all said, that goes to life too, because you have to realize even after college, you have to figure yourself out. You have to be. Sometimes you're gonna be in a room full of people and you're gonna feel alone.
I feel like college is about learning to walk all over again, if that makes sense.
It's learning how to deal with life
all over again.
That's what it is.
It's learning how to deal with people. Period.
But people is what's gonna make up majority people. Majority people in the world, they're not gonna be able to live any type of life unless they learn how to live with people. Mm-hmm. That's just how things is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man. College just forces you to grow up.
Hey, Titty. Shout out to Kizzy Bogan. Y'all might know who she is. Kizzy Gage. Y'all might know who she is. Y'all might not know who she is. It's whatever.
Shout out to mother of the church.
She's not the mother of the church. She's just a missionary.
Just a missionary. I'm so sorry.
No, come on, I don't claim my ink.
The mother of the church is dead, bro.
What?
Oh, we need to cut that out.
I'm so sorry.
That's what you need to cut that part out.
No, we're definitely keeping that in. That is
hilarious. With the mother of the church, nigga.
Yeah, you did.
No, I forgot my mom's the international mother. And that
speaking of,
but speaking of church though, here's the thing. Everything ties in with each other. Speaking of church and speaking of we figuring out life, a lot of people might not believe in God of things that transpire in your life. So my question to y'all is, I know y'all believe in God.
Get my brother good?
I know y'all believe in God, but is y'all opinion, like y'all, the way y'all think about God, kind of know mine is, the way we think about God, is y'all's different from the way that we were originally taught?
You talk like God himself?
God himself?
I mean, no. I mean, I believe in
I feel like...
God,
I'm not saying y'all don't believe in God. I'm saying is what y'all think God would accept and how God is.
I feel like that's
y'all think it's different
learning, because at a certain age you're taught for, like, let's say we're just going to be growing about having sex with marriage. Like, I was watching Michael Todd, and he was saying how a lot of people are saying, don't have sex until you're married.
Michael Todd is, he's the online preacher
at Transformation Church, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Y'all should really give it a look.
Get into it.
Y'all should really watch the relationship thing too. His relationship message was,
I think it's 1
fire.
to 10. Yeah. But back to what I was saying. Like, a lot of people have to branch out. Just not focus on what you're told. Like he said in his message one day, he was just saying how a lot of people saying don't have sex until you're married, but they're making sex like a bad thing, and it's really not. It's really a gift from God if you really read your Bible and go into depth. But I'm not about to do all of that. But that's just an example of what you're taught in church.
Mm-hmm. I know that's a really good statement, but there's two sides to the sex thing. But I understand. I'm not trying to make a huge debate right now. I just gotta say this. There's two sides to sex, because there's a top and a bottom, like a sword. So, yeah, you can have good sex. No, let's talk this real. You can have good sex, like someone you love, actually be emotional with them, or you can have the regular, I want to hook up with this girl, that girl.
Just call it casual sex.
Casual sex. Yes, casual sex.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah, something like that. But that takes two sides.
Let's
say you get that one friend with benefit that catch emotion, but you got another girl with friends with benefit that catch emotion.
That's what he called a soul tie, because you had no business hooking up with
them. That's what I'm saying. That's what
it is. Actually, wait. Go ahead.
So, not to,
knock my pastor.
No. I'm actually going to quote him, because it was because of him that I learned about.
You watch them too?
Yeah, because of soul time and all types of stuff like that. And if you watch what he was saying, I watched that whole thing and I actually did my own research about it. And he was right. Correct. When you have sex with a person, the reason why you're not supposed to have sex with a person before marriage is because sex is something that's supposed to be shared between the husband and the wife.
Exactly.
And you're supposed to only have sex with that one person. So if you have sex before you're married, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have sex again with a different person. So the reason being is because that when you have sex with a person, it's more than just an exchange of fluids.
It's emotion.
It's spiritual energy.
Exactly. I mean, like
it's like a trans. I remember.
It's two spirits being entwined together. If this goes out to the audience, nobody up here, none of y'all shouldn't.
Come on now.
This goes out to the audience. If you ever notice when you have sex with a person, if you have sex with a person that you know you're not going to be with, you should not have sex with that person. First of all, you should just wait till marriage, because what happens is subconsciously you don't realize it, but if you pay attention to yourself, you will see what I'm talking about. Let's say you have sex with a person, right? Let's say Billy and Mary start having sex. Billy is an alcoholic. Mary is a compulsive liar.
But Mary like when Billy knocked them ankles loose.
Okay, now, Quan.
Whoa.
Like I was saying, if Billy and Mary have sex, Billy is going to start acting like Mary subconsciously, and Mary's going to start acting like Billy. So now Billy's going to start being a compulsive liar, and then Mary's going to start drinking. And they're not.
She might not be a complete alcoholic.
She's not going to be a complete alcoholic.
That's what you call an interaction.
When you have sex, basically, because back in the day, and you can look this up, the easiest way I can break this down is I suggest that you watch a show called Adam's Rule and Everything, and he breaks down the idea and the thought and the concept of marriage that we know of today. Back in the Bible times, way back then, when people have married, you would get married and you would have sex, and that means you were married. So technically, once you have sex with a person, you are basically, in God's eyes, you are married to that.
That's why in the Bible, he tells what's her name? You know, the prostitute. He said you had many husbands.
Right. Yeah. That's why he said. Because when you have sex with a person, technically you are that person's significant other, spouse. Now,
I believe her name was Mary Magdalene.
Yeah. But you do not in the United States eyes, in the eyes of the world, y'all not married.
You're not married.
But in God's eye, who truly matters, you're obviously married. So easy quick fix of doing that is
don't do it at all.
Yeah, just don't have sex until.
And just a word of knowledge, if y'all don't mind me interacting.
That's fine. That's fine.
Behind the scenes, in some states, it is illegal to have premature sex.
Oh, what?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy. You want to hop in the camera? Show your face?
No,
you good. All right. But wait, let me say this before we continue. For anybody out there who may have.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
The camera can see you anyway.
I took my little do-rag.
You might be in the camera. But to anybody out there who had premarital sex or has had or did anything, we not knocking y'all. We not making y'all feel like we not judge. That's not who we are. We don't judge you. We're not judging you based off that. We're just saying this is safe. I'm probably gonna have people up here, well, maybe not here, but I'm gonna have people on this podcast who has, you know, they probably do those things. They might smoke. They might do this. I'm gonna have people like that on there. We're gonna act like that. Anyway, I'm gonna have people like that on there. So we're not knocking y'all. We're just saying what we know. What we talk. And remember, ignorance is bliss. Cause I know they got some of y'all who don't even know the Lord like that. Y'all gonna listen in cause y'all might know me or whatever. But ignorance is bliss. If you do not know, it's okay. And it's okay even if you do. But
There's always a time
and a place.
and a place to do your own research, to do your own preference of however you want to do and what you want to learn. There's no guideline on what you should know, when you should know it, as long as you know right from wrong.
And remember, if you think it's wrong, think back to how you was taught. There's always something back in your roots. Say what you gotta say.
All right. I was gonna bring up that topic. I was gonna bring up now that we talk about that, let's go. You can go over the Ten Commandments.
Can I interject for just a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can't say you got to go back to what you know, because a lot of young people have not been taught. They have just been thrown in the water and told swim the best way you know how.
Facts.
So you have to surround yourself with like-minded people. So people who have goals and dreams and ambitions and that have goals to going somewhere, those are the type of people who you have to hang around. Now, what does that have to say with what y'all just finished? It has a lot to go with what y'all just said, but the simple fact is that when you hang around people who are self-aware and who have this knowledge, those are the people who you want to surround yourselves with.
Oh, and by the way, nobody up here is one of those shove God down your throat types. If this isn't for you, like God isn't for you because you don't believe it, things happen in your life. I'm going, one of these episodes, I'm going to have an atheist up here and we're going to have a discussion.
I was talking to my biology teacher who teaches biology. Biology. And we was discussing the Big Bang and all of that type of stuff. Why would we discussing this in biology? I have no idea. But he always always liked to talk about that. He said every semester, and he was saying how other scientists and other people who have PhDs or other doctors who have their doctorate in science and the study of almost anything you could think of. These people got degrees upon degrees, and he was saying how a lot of them. I'm blanking out. I'm forgetting the astrologer. I'm listening to I'm forgetting the astrologer name, but he one of his most famous quotes is, he basically, in layman's terms, he was saying, if God is real and you believe in him and you live your life the right way, what do you lose?
What do you lose?
Exactly.
But if you don't serve God and God turns out to be real, you lose everything. So it's better to just believe and to do what the Bible tells us.
Scenario about
Go
that.
ahead and say what you got to say.
I was going to say, no hate on atheists and stuff, but those who believe that all scientists are atheists, they have now came with a discovery that said that that's what I'm saying. That now came with a discovery that they're looking through the skies and looking through the galaxy and said there's something in the galaxy that's so perfect that they have to be a God.
Like they look it up. NASA has a picture.
NASA confirmed,
and it looks like this. It kind of looks like a new galaxy or whatever. But NASA looked at it and they like, this is, everything is so organized. Everything's like the whole universe itself is so organized, so made, so wonderfully. Everything just works together. They like, somebody had to create this.
And it can't come from a Big Bang.
And it can't come from a Big Bang.
But see, here's my thing about the Big Bang. I believe the Big Bang happened.
I don't believe it happened the way you taught us.
Let me explain. Because I believe in the Big Bang. I believe in all that type of stuff. Here's why. Here's what I say. I honestly think the Big Bang happened. I think God put it in place to happen to create what we know as Earth. Let me tell you why. Science will never prove that I'm correct because science is the study of natural. God works beyond natural and supernatural. So I believe that God and science can go hand in hand. Other people do not believe it. Other people do not believe in the Big Bang. They dismiss the Big Bang. The theory that we came from monkeys. I honestly think God was like, God was just making animals, and he was just doing what God was doing, and he was like, let me make something in my own image, and he made us.
And
who's to say that he got us right on the first attempt?
Who's to say that Adam didn't look like a monkey?
Exactly. You have to look at everything that happened before, because there is. So basically, this is why I always tell people, because there is proof that there was, before Homo sapiens, it was another species. And it was proof that before them it was something else. These are things that have been proven that you can see. What isn't proven is God. There's no physical evidence that nobody can dispute that God exists.
But there's no physical evidence God can exist.
Exactly. That's my point.
I'm gonna interrupt y'all for a second. That's why you have the Holy Spirit.
Okay,
but
that's not physical.
Okay, that's not physical, but you can also feel a presence.
But listen.
That's another thing.
But listen. What you have to take into account is, I agree 100% with you. But if a scientist was to go through the proper things it takes, you're saying
there's no actual hard evidence that there's a
yes. But what I'm saying is like what you were saying, like. What I'm saying is there is no evidence that you cannot dispute. The evidence, like Holy Ghost. I've seen scientists debunk the Holy Ghost, like actually debunk, saying that it's a chemical balance in our brain, that when we hear the songs that we hear and the preachers preaching what the preacher's preaching, and everybody the
dopamine.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a chemical imbalance in the brain that makes you feel like you can really actually now we know better. So we know what it's like, and we know what it really is. Others don't. So, like I was saying, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I do believe that God and science goes hand in hand. Because this is how I feel like with God. I feel like God was like, I'm going to make this. I'm going to make this. And he was like, hold on. I can just do this. Boom, big bang. And now you got everything. You know what I'm saying?
Let me... I got a teacher. This is probably the only name I'm gonna say. I got a teacher named Miss J. Miss J, I love you. You know I love you. And when I first met her, she was giving us this whole speech talking about how she believed in science and stuff. And at first, we was looking at each other. We was like, she don't believe in God. And she was like, however, I believe that God does exist. She loves science. But she also believes in God. She believes that goes hand in hand. There are people that believe that is the most logical to me.
That's what I'm saying, because it's evidence. It's a video that I seen a couple of years ago on the proof that Jesus existed.
We know you can't dispute that. Jesus was
exactly that actual proof that Jesus existed. Now there is no proof of his miracles that he performed, but giving that almost everybody around that time period say they saw the same thing. That, in my opinion, that's all the proof you need. I just feel like people need to just give God
the credibility.
Chance.
Okay, let me talk about something I learned down high school. I had this one history teacher. I think he was my last one, and he taught us different ideas of believing in God. He says, different ideologies. Different ideologies. Yeah, you got actual religion, and then all that about it got atheist. But in the middle, I'm so sorry, I forgot the name of it. But in the middle, it said they don't believe like how we believe in church and all that, but they believe in the idea that there's a higher being that created everything. Right. And that's what I feel like most people need to be on. Like, you can't just be like, man, God's ain't real, God all that. But I ain't gonna shove down your throat. But I'm saying that you should at least look at the universe and realize that some higher power had to work in something.
Anyway, guys, we discussed all these different topics and stuff. Now, one of the topics that I really like talking on is your friend group and how that affects you yourself. And while we're talking about this, also I wanted to keep in your heads, I also want to discuss how people in our generation are, mentally. Like, y'all get what I mean? Y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I feel like people are too puss. I feel like if I say I want to smash your mom, I want to smash your mom.
I also feel like there's a time and a place to say what you feel, and I'm still learning about that.
What is
I'm dead.
I know.
No, you're not.
No,
you're
okay,
not.
Let me tell you a story. So I used to work at Dollar General, right? And let me tell you, they be the most finest baby mamas you ever seen in your existence.
How you know these women got children?
Because they walk in with their kids. I'll shake their kids' hand and say your mama thick. Either way. I feel like, yeah, I know I would say it's probably sound wrong if I said it to a child, but I feel like in friend group wise, if someone compliments your mom, should you really get mad?
No, my friends do that all the time, and I really don't pay them any attention.
Yo, you're a female. I'm talking about males wise.
Somebody
I'm not. No, hold up. I'm sorry. Don't think I'm a feminist and anything like that. Don't think I'm sexist and anything like that. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I'm definitely leaving this.
I'm sorry.
I mean, funny segment.
I know, and I have you said that because that right there affects this generation with a double standard.
Oh my God.
Well,
facts.
Okay. You know what?
Yes.
Know what? If a woman can cheat, why can't a man cheat too?
Who said they can't cheat?
Who said a woman can cheat?
Let's talk about Will Smith.
Who said? First of all, we ain't even about to bring that up. I love Will. Jada,
what did Will Smith do?
I love.
No, I'm talking about Jada. All them supported Jada, but let's pull up every other nigga.
Who supported Jada?
Who supported Jada?
Everybody, mama supported her.
In his defense, a lot of women was defending Jada, but
the only thing that you could defend her by is they was not even together.
But they still was married.
They
married.
They was married.
They were married.
They might have been separated.
It still does not matter.
They were married.
You know what? Actually, he does have a point because they did have a lot of people talking about, but at least they were separated. They were taking a break.
They were
on. If you're on a mutual ground, it should not even matter.
No.
Yes.
If you're married,
first of all, we discussing something. We don't know what Will and Jada
have. We don't know what they had going on.
Listen, wait. We don't know what the agreement was for their break and all that. For all we know, Will could have piped down Jada's mom's sister. We don't know what went on behind the scenes to even speak on the topic.
And let's remember, we wouldn't even know about this if August didn't go one in his mouth.
True that.
Because the Smith family would have never let out this information. If August wasn't so big and would have started one in his mouth, Will Smith probably piped down some celebrities. Let's be honest. I bet they ain't never going to come out and say it.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Ain't never going to come out.
Probably.
That's like you
Will
get
Smith will have to tell us.
Will Smith would tell us himself.
But talking about that payment down.
I want to talk
about one more controversial thing. Let's talk about I don't know, let's talk about rape. Let's put that down on the table.
I'm not sure.
How is that controversial?
How controversial is rape?
No. I'm saying rape is wrong. No, let me say this. Rape is wrong. It's illegal. You should never do that. Rape is taking away someone's innocence. Rape is wrong. What I'm saying is, though, we would drag a man's name deeper than drag a woman's name, though, for rape.
That's
a high controversial thing.
Thank God.
Either way, both of them are wrong. But we'll drag his name to his child from next generation. We'll realize he was a rapist back in the day. But let's say a lady just go out, she go rape somebody, go rape a child or something. Okay, we know for 2 seconds, that's over.
There's actually a lot of dudes who, especially in the younger age, they have been raped by people older than them. But, you know, as a man, we're trying not to talk about stuff like that. This is actually a really good topic. Thank God, because you about to get kicked out.
Where that was going.
I didn't know either. I was about to say it.
But this is actually a really good thing to say, because especially fake rapes. And when I say fake rapes, I mean females.
False
accusations. False allegations. Y'all, any woman who does a false allegation, whatever, any woman who does that, not only will I never believe you, but you are just a low down dirty person. I suggest
your number one ticket to hell has been submitted.
For real, S-class ticket.
Michael Jackson got a music concert for you.
I ain't gonna go out there. I don't think Michael did it. Anyway, my thing is If you do that, you're just a terrible person. End of story. You won that whole quiz. For what reason?
I feel like if women make false accusations and they know that, let's take Justin Bieber for an example. He got accused of sexual assault.
No.
Two people.
Let's not use Justin Bieber.
Use someone more calmer.
No. Let's use a recent one. Chris Brown. I think it was earlier this year, or maybe late last year. He got a girl accused him of rape. Said Chris Brown raped him. Chris Brown's one only statement was, "Now y'all know good and well, I didn't rape that girl." And let's be honest, I'm not saying that. Like when the news came out, I was like, "Oh my God, Chris Brown didn't do it." I was like, "Well, if he did it, he's wrong. If he didn't do it, she's wrong." So then more news starts uncovering about this rape allegations, right? And her story didn't line up with Chris Brown's proof.
Yes.
Right? So then 2 weeks later, something like that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it came out, I think like the hotel room or like Chris Brown's camp, somebody leaked the footage of her trying to get into his room, but they didn't let her in the room. So then she came back and said, she never came out and said she was wrong and he didn't rape her. She said, "Oh, I thought he raped me."
Talking about that.
I feel like she should get jail time.
She should get jail time.
I feel like she should get jail time.
Talking about that, I got another thing. You gotta think about the struggle is, like, if a man, let's say, like, women get accusation of rape, that's quick, easy, she gonna win. If a man get an accusation of rape, he gotta fight for his life.
It's least likely for men to say that they have been sexual assaulted, because if you go back and look at the stats, women are more likely to get raped by a male than a male getting raped by a
female. Men are also taught to keep things like that on the...
First of all, I mean, okay, here's a problem with numbers, right? So if you want, sit back. Here's a problem with using numbers to support arguments like this. Just as easy as you can use your numbers to...
I'm not saying the numbers.
No. This is what I'm saying. Whenever you bring stats into something, just remember that somebody can always use another stat to counteract what you're saying. Like, that's why you shouldn't use stats like this. But you shouldn't use stats when you're trying to have an argument, especially one like this, because let's talk about how many men that get raped don't come out and say nothing.
That's a stat.
And it's not.
That's on both sides.
They don't come out and say it.
You can't even measure that.
Yeah, you can't even measure that because you don't know.
You can't measure women either because they also have multiple that don't come out.
But a lot of the times, let's just be real, it's not grown men being raped.
It's young adolescents.
It's young dudes between the ages of 8 to like 13 and 14 years old who got touched by
a first cousin,
a cousin, or in some extreme cases, an uncle
or auntie,
or a babysitter.
Let me add something to that. I was watching this thing. It's kind of like an interview, and this dude, he was so happy, so full of joy and all that. And later in the video, he's like, "The only reason I wouldn't go get in the church and all that because I got raped 3 times in my life. Once when I was like 8, once when I was 17, and once when I was 23.
I mean, Terry Crews said he got raped. Terry Crews.
Oh, yeah, I heard
he's a pretty big guy and strong guy. I mean, if he could get raped, I feel like anybody can get raped.
For real.
But
there's different methods.
It's all types of different things. Like, you gotta realize, like, people don't, when men say, "Oh, I got raped," people just tend to just drown it out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if my daddy was to come out and say, "I got raped," like,
they're not like
you're bigger than probably almost anybody that would even try to rape you. So we just gonna drown it out because we not thinking about the possibility of someone slipping his.
And that's one. Be a man. Come up.
He could have got a date break. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you said, like people are like, "Well, nigga, man up, defend yourself." But no,
hold on.
If you're a drug, there's nothing you can do.
Hold on. Let's establish this.
Like Cardi B.
Hold on. I know. Without quantitative me, it's gonna reach a lot of people. So let's establish this right now. We are not pushing back any other victims of rape, any women that's raped. We're not throwing you down. We're not throwing your name. We're not throwing your cause. We're just adding on a fact that there's other people out here who
I do have a lot of
supporters.
I do have a lot of supporters that really support the Me Too movement and guys. We're not.
I support the Me Too movement.
We all support the Me Too movement. We all support the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Anyway, why
you say it like that?
We ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, I just want to let you guys know we're not discouraging y'all. We're not pushing y'all back. We're not saying do that. We're just talking about there's a double standard that really needs to be addressed.
There's a double standard in
everything.
This is how I feel, right? Like again, I support the Me Too movement. If a woman get raped, the man who raped her should go to jail for life. That's my opinion.
For life.
I don't feel that.
I don't want to rape some.
I don't feel that. Let's say Don Quan raped somebody and then Donnie killed somebody. I sold drugs. There's no. If I sold weed, I do not feel like I should get as much jail time as these two.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's another big thing. Let's talk about.
Let's
talk about the growth of weed.
But you want to go into waste. You have to get into waste.
No, that goes into the justice system.
I know, but you got to get into waste. The justice system, poverty line. You got so much you got to get into just to discuss that one thing.
Just that one topic, yo.
But hold on. Let's I'm sorry. No, you guys want to say for a change topic? Let's big up that big topic that's coming up that a lot of people are excited for. The growth of weed being legalized in America.
Dispensaries.
Y'all, I am so serious when I say people who are in jail right now for selling marijuana. Y'all gotta listen.
The devil's weed?
Nah, it's not the devil's weed. It's God's lettuce.
I feel like we're in Tennessee and it's legal in Tennessee, right? Mm-hmm. You go around and you smell it. It's not hard to miss, but I feel like people with health issues should not be around that. I mean, because I feel like people with asthma cannot be around smoke. So I feel like I don't know. I just feel like
hold up, that's
forms of marijuana.
Yeah,
I got to throw something at that. Cigarettes are one of the biggest things that kill most people.
Yeah, you're right as well. That's why a lot of people don't stop in buildings and stuff like that. I mean,
you can't throw. That's what I'm sorry to throw it down, but you can't throw the asthma and all that in. Because I'm saying if people
smoking, listen, if you smoke and I have asthma.
Okay, but what about
no, I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. That's the same. Wait, let me explain.
But if that's smoking in general, like that, like I'm just saying,
people, she's saying that people, right? When weed is everywhere, people want to be smoking weed crazy, and people with asthma and stuff. Sure, they got people who smoke cigarettes.
I feel like people who smoke in public. Smoke weed, smoke blunt, smoke black in the mouth, smoke anything that is smokable. You're selfish because you're putting your own need versus somebody else.
But they're all places. And
then you have hotels that have no smoking policies on premises. You have schools that have no smoking policies on the premises. That's
shout out to y'all. Y'all be rolled up in the bathroom. I know y'all be hot-boxing in there. I smell it. I see y'all.
But hold up. But that throws in so many different things. Like, they put in their own needs. If we throw it like that, let's talk about the mask.
No, we're not gonna talk about mask.
No, that's the same thing.
No, you wanna put the mask? No, wait. Hey, my niggas, it's my podcast.
Okay.
You wanna bring up mask? Let's bring up this. Black people were supposed to be treated like equal citizens. That was a mandated rule. That is an amendment. Did that happen?
No.
Masks. And people be like, and I'm only bringing this up because a lot of people, when I was going hard for Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter all the way, I'm still going, I just don't post it as much. But when I was going hard for it, people was like, man, this been ended, this happened, Black people supposed to be treated like this. Y'all can't even put a dang mask on. And you expect me to believe that everybody following the rules, that Black people need to be treated the same? Like, they still got schools that are segregated. Are y'all serious? And y'all want to come argue with me when y'all can't even put on a dang mask. But also, one more thing before we leave the whole weed conversation. If you're in jail for selling weed, I honestly think you should be let go. Or get your years reduced. If you're just selling weed.
Or parole. Or community service.
Yeah, something. You shouldn't be.
That stands against your morals.
I don't think you should get any kind of
I don't think you should be in jail or whatever if you're just selling weed.
But I don't feel like it should be any
But
competition for people that sell weed or smoke weed.
For real.
It shouldn't be any. I mean, weed itself.
Weed is the safest. Out of all the drugs you really be hearing about, weed is probably the safest.
First of all, I wouldn't even consider weed a drug anymore.
Exactly.
Because people don't consider tobacco a drug.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Weed.
And alcohol that also messes with your mind. That can't be considered a drug anymore either.
Right. So, when you look at marijuana, and both recreational and medicinal uses, I mean, studies show. Look at Snoop Dogg, man. Snoop Dogg been smoking since before we was born.
Jeez.
Snoop looks fine.
Snoop?
You know what I'm saying? Snoop have no
For his
problems
age?
known to us, known to the public. No problems, no rush. Let's look at another one. Wiz Khalifa, Cheech and Chong, Seth Rogen. Let's look at all these lifelong potheads.
Not even potheads.
I mean, first of all, the only reason why people believe weed is bad and they could deal with people smoking cigarettes, which is literally killing you slowly.
Which is killing everybody.
Cool.
It kills you and the person in front of you.
They're cool with people drinking alcohol, but they're not cool with people smoking weed. The only reason why weed is considered a bad thing and is considered a drug was because way back in the day, it was used as propaganda for political gain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you guys more. It's a show on Netflix that could really give you a real look inside the marijuana itself. Let's look at the name marijuana. Marijuana was a name that somebody from the United States gave to weed, to cannabis. The original name is cannabis. That's the name, but they said marijuana because marijuana sounded more Mexican. And
drug cartel.
So they wanted to paint weed in a bad light because they wanted to use it in political gain. I'm only touching the surface. It gets way deeper.
It gets way deeper.
Way deeper than that. But the whole thing about weed was black and brown people, us and Mexicans, was using it. They didn't like that.
And they also
realized they couldn't get no money from it.
Yeah.
So they was like, we don't want to have it, and it's bad. There are stories. Let me just go ahead and just put this out here. Let me just the same people that said that weed makes you crazy and it makes you kill people. It was a story. It was like in the 1930s, 40s, or 50s. I really don't remember. But a man got mad, killed his whole family, and killed himself, and they blamed it on weed. Science now proves that was BS. But back then, that's all the people had to cling on to was, the government said it, we gotta believe it. It's not until recently, I'll probably say probably in the 90s or 80s when people start realizing you really can't trust the government.
And no, and look, our generation right now, like especially when all the Black Lives Matter stuff happening, we seen, not in all the protests, but we seen like cops and stuff going undercover and would do this to incite violence or whatever. Like we really don't, because we're seeing it more, we don't trust the government as much as they used to right now.
Like, look at that.
I watched a documentary on Netflix and I can't remember the name, but towards the end they were saying how a lot of whites were going back, planting marijuana, crack, just basically dropping it off in the black community, which made it spread out to make it such a.
It wasn't. I don't think it was weed they planted, but it was crack cocaine.
It was crack.
It was crack cocaine.
But yeah, I just don't.
By the way, for all you racists out there, white supremacists, whatever you call yourselves, y'all be hating on the hood. Y'all be hating on this, and that. Most of our problems that you think are your problems, y'all made. Y'all invented the hood because y'all want to put all the minorities in a subspace because y'all didn't want them messing with the white people. And now the hood is here. We was in less conditioned homes, didn't get the education we needed. You made sure that we stayed under the whole time. So our little problems, they want to be gangsters, they like this, they so ghetto. Y'all invented that. Y'all made us like this. That's just how it is.